The seer's fingers trembled as they hovered over the photograph, a sharp breath catching in their throat. The air around them shifted, growing heavy with an unseen force, and their once steady composure fractured in an instant. Their eyes, wide with recognition and unease, darted across the image as if searching for answers hidden within its worn edges. It was as though they had been transported to another realm, one where only they could perceive the truth buried beneath the surface. The man sitting across from them stiffened, sensing the sudden change in the atmosphere. This was not the reaction he had expected. What had once been simple curiosity twisted into anxious anticipation as he watched the seer grapple with something unseen. He leaned forward, his pulse quickening. Finally, the seer placed the photograph down with a reverence that made it feel far heavier than its physical weight. "This person," they began, their voice barely more than a whisper, "is unlike any other. Their presence carries a force that few can comprehend, one that stirs the deepest parts of the soul." The words hung thick in the air, weighted with meaning the man couldn't yet grasp. His fingers tightened around the edge of the table as he waited for more. He needed to understand. "They are a catalyst for change," the seer continued, their gaze locking onto his with an intensity that sent a shiver down his spine. "People like this do not enter our lives by chance. They are sent. Their energy is transformative, revealing truths long buried and emotions long ignored." A chill crept down the man's spine. He had always sensed something different about the person in the photograph, something he couldn't quite name, an uncanny familiarity, a feeling of both comfort and unease in their presence. Now he feared the seer was giving voice to something he'd subconsciously known all along. "You must understand," the seer pressed, leaning in slightly. "Their arrival in your life is no accident. The universe does not work in such ways. You are connected to them, bound by unseen threads that weave through time itself." The man swallowed hard, his throat dry. He had never given much thought to fate or destiny, but something about the seer's words rang true. He thought back to the moments he had shared with this person, the way their words lingered in his mind long after they had spoken, the way their presence had always felt like both a comfort and a challenge. He had never fully understood it before, but now he wondered if he had been avoiding the truth all along. "Transformation is never easy," the seer continued, their tone gentle yet firm. "It will challenge you, push you beyond the limits of who you believe yourself to be. But if you embrace it, if you allow this connection to guide you, you will see yourself in ways you never have before." The weight of their words pressed upon him, leaving him at a crossroads. He could ignore this, dismiss it as mere superstition, continue living as he always had. Or he could open himself to the unknown, to the possibility that this connection was more than mere coincidence. The choice loomed before him like an open door, both inviting and terrifying. As their session drew to a close, the seer met his gaze with something softer, a quiet reassurance. "No path is ever certain," they said, "but trust that this one is meant for you." The man left the small, dimly lit room with the photograph still clutched in his hand, the seer's words echoing in his mind. The city lights flickered around him as he walked, lost in thought. He had always believed he was in control of his own path, but now, for the first time, he felt as though he was stepping into something far greater than himself. As he stared down at the image one more time, a single thought surfaced, unshakable in its clarity. He had been given a choice, and no matter how much fear whispered in his ear, he knew deep down that he was meant to take the leap into the unknown.